Okay, so this is before we start talking about swing plan. This is just your early, again, not the 7-irons or the chip and runs, because you guys are pretty good there. Well, this is what I'm talking about with that swing plan. Now, you're really setting it really flat, too. See how low those hands are?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty low, flat plane that you're establishing. I'm probably going to get your knee bend to be less and try to get you a little more vertical with your setup, right?
Okay.
You'll see how that just comes
yeah,
way
yeah.
underneath. So now that club's, compared to where we talked about going,
Right.
that club's really stuck behind you now. And there isn't much loft on it either. So it comes way, way in and around. Now, you can make good contact there, but I think you're going to come in shallow sometimes.
It'll be less.
And that'll make you hit down on it too much. It kind of comes around you on the other side. So it's kind of like you're swinging around your belt line, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that? And look at your back foot, how active it is. So that's a good reference for kind of before and after for later. You can see from this view the club's sticking, going backwards.
Mm-hmm. So
see, here's where your wrist is bowed, and your arms, you got a lot of stretch with your arms, and not any wrist break to speak of compared to what we talked about later, right?
Yeah.
Now that's a good impact there. That shot. See that club's going up in the air. It's just
a little follow through to go with the flat back swing.
Yeah. It's kind of like swinging around your belt line.
It's really obvious from that back view.
Yeah. That's good if you need to hit it under a tree limb or something. But
which occasionally happens.
Yeah. Not so much in Florida, but right.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Similar look there. Now we got a little quieter look at that back. See, that's just a little knee bend now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knee's going, but no big flip over with the foot.
So this is the after.
Yeah.
Still finishing low, is that?
Well, but we'll deal with that as we see fit. It depends on what we want to do with the shot too. If we want to hit it high, there's things we do. If we want to hit it medium, if we want to hit it low.
So we want to hit it high.
Well, we're going to have to get the club face open.
Or grab the 58.
Yeah, there's not going to be that much
difference.
Well, there's going to be it's 8 degrees difference. Those two clubs. That's 2 clubs difference.
That was at my 54 actually. So.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. That's right. You did go to 54.
But I try to hit a few of the 58s after, and that's just really tough off that tight line. Really got to clip it.
Yep.
Very.
I got you too late for that one. I had a bunch of late ones here today for some reason. Now this one, from the wrong view, we're seeing just a little bit more wrist break. See? That's all different world than what we saw earlier, isn't it? That's a cupped wrist, and that club's coming back on a better plane. So that's kind of a short game, 54-degree shot in my estimation. Because when you're not letting your wrist set like that, you're really turning that 54 into a low lofted club.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well just hit a lower lofted club instead of but you're just trapping it, de-lofting it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you get as much run out as you do, because your trajectory is too low. So we want to learn how to get that ball up in the air a little bit.
So it started going a little higher.
Yeah, I saw that. Absolutely. You're good here in the hitting area. You don't flip it or anything. Most people don't turn their body enough, so they end up flipping it because the body stays still. So not the case with you. You're good that way. Okay, let's go to, here's a kind of a miniature version of we're kind of doing a similar shot the first time around. You can see where it's really pointing behind you. And you've got a lot of speed with your hands. Your speed motor runs high at impact. And then you try to save it or hold it a little bit at the end. So most of those shots are going pretty low. So I think getting a nice arched short game shot would be a good thing for you. Especially on firm greens like we got down here. In the winter anyway. Summer. Okay, so we just talked about grip last week to kind of fix that hook, so we're not going to get too much out of that, but posture-wise, I like to see you get your arms, you look like you're sitting back a little bit. You got a little bit more on your heels. I'm probably going to get your knee bend a little less.
So my hands are too close to my knees?
Yeah, I think we need to get you, just generally speaking, a little bit more upright. And then here's that picture of when the club's parallel to the ground. And actually, it was. I thought it was worse than that almost with the little chips here. So, but that's just your DNA. So it's not like it can't be done from there.
Now, I'd like to, get to.
But
where you're steering me, because
yeah.
It's a more consistent way to play the game, which is what
you're
frustrates me.
You're very flat plane and really no motion in your wrist, kind of flat to bowed wrist.
I'm of the opinion, I guess, of the misguided opinion that too much risk helps me hook it. So I try to take the risk out of it.
Yeah, I could make a case for the more you're hinging it, the more it's open. On the way back.
So hinge instead of cup.
Hinge instead of bow. Cup is hinge.
Okay. You want me to hinge? You want me to?
I don't want you to bow. I want you to cup or hinge, which is what we're doing there at the end.
Okay.
So that's not that's just way behind you. See that? So the image I stated about you swinging around your belt line is pretty accurate there. Okay, so the posture is going to get taller. The shaft angle is going to get a little more vertical when we do that. So that's going to help our swing plane a little bit. And you're sitting back on your heels a little bit. We can see that quite a bit. You're really pretty good at impact, though. Turn your body well. You're very good with we don't have to accuse you of not having any leg work.
A little active.
It's very few times I've got to go the other way with people.
So would you say that posture's not upright enough?
That's better because it's a longer club. It's making you get up, but it's better. But I still think it's a little hunched and a little back. So that's just a little tweaking.
That low sweeping.
Yeah. See now, that club face is wide open because of the rolling that you did. That's on a hinge. That's just a roll.
So I got to save it with a hook.
Your hands are gonna have to just work really hard to keep that from going way right.
Flip the wrist right through impact. There you go.
And that's, by the way, that's also a speed. That's one of the reasons why you get so much club speed, is because your hands are really active.
So how do you make your hands less active?
We don't have to reinvent the wheel here, truthfully.
Yeah.
Remember your goal?
Yeah.
What was it? A couple shots here and there?
Just more consistency and, a couple shots here and there.
Yeah.
But the consistency...
Well, consistency and the shots here and there are going to go hand in hand.
Yeah.